Police probing murder of businessman in Portmore. Police from the St. Catharines South Division are searching for the person who shot and killed a businessman in Brayton, Portmore on Tuesday. The deceased has been identified as Joseph Lewis, 62, of Greater Portmore, St. Catherine. The police report that Lewis was attacked about 2:30 p.m. He was assisted to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he died from his injuries. No motive has been established for the murder. 14-year-old female student in custody following fatal stabbing of 12-year-old boy in Kingston. The 14-year-old female student accused of the fatal stabbing of a 12-year-old boy in Kingston is in custody at the South Camp Juvenile Remand Center. The Holy Trinity High School student was taken into custody following the death of 12-year-old Denham Town High School student Omar Colley of Garden Lane, Kingston 13. Reports are that about 3:30 p.m., Omar was at a taxi stand downtown when he got into a dispute with the female student. Head of the Kingston West Police Senior Superintendent Michael Phelps told reporters that allegations are that the girl used a comb with a metal handle to stab Omar in the chest. He said the boy died at hospital while the girl was placed in custody.
They were walking in the downtown area of West Queen Street when they had some problems. We're not sure as to the circumstances of that particular issue, but what we can tell you is that a comb was used to inflict a stab wound to the chest of the male, and he was taken to the Kingston Public Hospital where he was treated and died whilst undergoing treatment. We have since taken the female in custody, and she remains at the South Camp Road Juvenile Center.
St. Andrew residents protest overflowing sewage. Residents of the Three Oak Gardens in St. Andrew on Wednesday blocked a section of the road in protest of raw sewage overflowing in the community. The refuse is reportedly flowing from the National Water Commission sewage treatment facility in the area. The residents say the issue has been ongoing for over a week and are calling for the authorities to urgently remedy the situation that is causing a nuisance and inconvenience. Mixed reaction to government aspirant framework aimed at transitioning Jamaica towards inclusive economic growth. The government's policy aimed at transitioning Jamaica towards robust and inclusive economic growth has been met with mixed reactions. Prime Minister Andrew Holness outlined the economic policy statement last evening. He explained that the Aspire Jamaica framework has 6 pillars: access to economic opportunity for all, safety and security, people, infrastructure development, reform of bureaucracy, and economic diversification, new industries. The Prime Minister noted that the key imperatives under the policy include revamping tax credit to attract private investments in underserved areas, establishing a national infrastructure fund for public-private partnership projects, and incentivizing businesses to modernize facilities and adopt advanced technologies. Other initiatives aim to reward service excellence in hospitality and service sector and consolidated payroll taxes. When probed by reporters for a reaction to Mr. Holness' policy statement, opposition spokesperson on finance Julian Robinson described it as a reiteration of commitments previously made but not implemented. He also notes that this announcement was made ahead of the general election expected next year. Mr. Robinson said he believes the Prime Minister's announcement is a time-bound strategy. However, President of the Jamaica Employers Federation Jeff Wincheng has commended the government for the formulating of the Aspire program. Mr. Cheng said he believes it will concretize the nation's gain towarding its fiscal strategy. He added that the Aspire Jamaica aligns perfectly with Jeff's mandate of securing industry harmony and providing employers with the tool, knowledge, and solution needed to succeed in today's global business environment. He also stressed the importance of social dialogue as well as policy consensus and continuity as the nation moves from under the economic growth agenda.
The Prime Minister said nothing new. He rehashed and repeated a number of things that have been said over the 9 years, commitments that have been made but not implemented. And I don't find it credible that having been in office for close to 9 consecutive years, that all of a sudden, on the eve of a general election, there's this great pivot to growth. Why weren't these things being done from long before? The reality is that, this administration, following on our administration, has correctly focused on paying down the debt, but there hasn't been enough focus on growing the economy and ensuring that all Jamaicans feel a part of that growth. And given the poll numbers, given the fact that the majority of Jamaicans feel the economy is going in the wrong direction, people are suffering from the high cost of living, I believe this is an address to kind of buy time, to seek more time from the electorate. And from our perspective, it's simply not credible. You can't be in office for 9 consecutive years where you have had an opportunity to address the issues, you have not addressed them, and now you're coming with this great platform at this stage, which really is just a repeat of things that you have promised over the last 9 years and not done.
There's no doubt that Jamaica needs inclusive, strong, and sustained economic growth. We have gone through 30 years ago, 20 years ago, a financial sector crisis. We have gone through years of austerity and fiscal adjustment. Now we need to see the benefits of our sacrifice. Jamaica's development needs growth. There's no doubt that the themes outlined, the improvement of skills within the workforce, necessary, because only a high-skilled workforce will earn the higher wages that are needed. The emphasis on infrastructure, improving the road network, improving the telecoms to include internet, improving our energy efficiency, the transition of the digital transformation of government to make it more accessible and more efficient, the digital transformation of private enterprise, of education, the introduction of technology into traditional sectors of the economy to include agriculture and so on. All necessary things if Jamaica is to grow rapidly and to remain competitive in a very competitive world. So it's a lot of challenges, but also a lot of opportunities. The way forward, really, I believe, is that we have to join hands. Here's where social dialogue and partnership becomes important. Policy consensus becomes important. And policy continuity, which has shown us real tangible benefits for the last decade, will have to now be spread across a lot of other areas of national activity, because we don't want to stop and start again. We need strong, inclusive, sustainable economic growth.
Cops heightened present across commercial district. Shoppers advised to be cautious during this festive season. The head of the city center police station says that while more officers have been deployed in the district to maintain safety in the Christmas season, the public is also being advised to exercise caution to safeguard themselves during the period. Speaking to reporters on Wednesday, Inspector David Lowe warned Jamaicans against walking with large sums of money, jewelry, and electronic devices when going into crowded areas. We ask the persons, do not travel with large sum of cash on your person. We also ask them to not wear expensive jewelry, chains, rings, and we ask them to also not to travel with their electronic devices because this attracts criminals on them, so we want for them to do all that they can to do in the prevention against any act of criminality, Lowe further stated. He also appealed to vendors to abide by the system put in place as the Christmas season approaches. Inspector Lowe further added that Food Patrol have been deployed strategically across the business district and said Jamaica Eye will be mounted at strategic locations for coverage. There is also an increase in police presence in location, so additional Food Patrol have been deployed strategically across the business district. Also, to assist in the security measure, there are strategic places where the Jamaica Eye will be mounted, and this is to provide a coverage within the space to assist in keeping the vendors and persons who occupy the space safe, Lowe added. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.